Now, as you can see, we had a mock graduation themed to this event, and there's got to be a commencement speech in every graduation, and I was given the opportunity to do so. So let's try this. Dear students, legislators, educators, and powers that be. As many of the speakers and students who spoke here today made it clear, this week marks the reintroduction of the DREAM Act in Congress. From Cal State San Marcos and UC San Diego in the south to Cal State Chico and UC Berkeley up north, students across the state have organized to let their campuses know, to let their legislators know, to let everyone else know about the dire need for a viable legalization process for undocumented students. But what is this DREAM Act? How does it help our communities? How does it help our society as a whole? Who benefits the most from it? And most importantly, why is it that it has stalled for years without passing, thus lengthening the uncertainty of the thousands of students who need it? In California, young immigrant students, along with many others, take advantage of AB 540. 6 years ago, their state legislature saw the value in making an investment in them. By making in-state tuition available to them, they opened a door that had previously been shut. When deciding on AB 540, they recognized in it fairness and an opportunity to invest in the future. A few of the students used these resources now available to them and became illustrious students in the state's universities. We are those students, and we stand in front of you all today to let you know that while a lot of work remains to be done to really institute equality, access, and success. As our picture display shows, undocumented students have excelled in an array of collegiate ventures, including classes, internships, individual research, community organizing, lab assistantships, and honors programs. They also have, to the best of their ability, gotten involved in extracurricular activities. They play intramural sports, they have joined fraternities and sororities, they host shows on campus radio stations, and they have camped out to secure the best seats in the house at their school's basketball games. But this college experience, for the few of us that made it this far, is constantly interrupted by thoughts of uncertainty and despair. And as our sign indicates, we still have dreams, and our path is only reinforced by those dreams we seek to reach. The DREAM Act, aptly named in its hope to offer undocumented students all the tools necessary to be fully immersed into this society, offers 4 key ideas that today we are fighting for. The bill speaks of development. For a set of students that have transcended the limits of world categorizations where the word development really matters, this speaks of their past. They were born in countries that have long suffered under false promises of development, interrupted democracies, and widespread poverty. Famines, wars, corruptions, dictatorships, unfair labor practices, and the first world manufactured, prolonged, yet never fulfilled promise of development, made the decision for their current status as much as their parents did. Today, legislators have the opportunity to offer domestic development. They are face to face with unparalleled human potential, but that potential needs to be fostered. For this reason, we fight for development. This bill also speaks of relief, and relief as a concept of aid to those in need. Because if we as a society are going to develop our future, we need to get past the bitter fights of the present. For every silent filibuster and pointless arguments on a tired immigration debate, a student's hopes die. Relief means not looking at the past, but correcting the present. In every religion, giving is more important than receiving. Today, we hope Washington, D.C. will make the decision that will secure a nation and its future by giving us a future. Today, we fight for relief. The most important reference made by the bill is towards education. And to us as undocumented students, this concept of education makes reference not only to the ability to learn and master concepts, theories, formulas, ideologies, but also to be aware of its potential to use it as a tool for change. For as Nelson Mandela once wrote, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Therefore, we see, as we cultivate our minds and challenge our own intellectual development, that we have the ability and the calling to be the leaders of tomorrow. For if broken immigration policies and economic policies, along with unstable democracies and institutions abroad, have through the years caused for our nation's high school to graduate 65 to 80,000 undocumented students each year. Our only hope for a brighter future is to make sure that those 65 to 80,000 are educated and prepared to be the ones affecting change in their communities and strengthening every level of our society. For this reason, today we fight for education. And the last term is alien minors. And in a way, it is indicative of the psyche of the undocumented student today. Aliens. Alienated from their peers, sharing anything and everything, from elementary school field trips to homecoming games and proms, but without the ability to become adults. A 23-year-old with ample experience in speech and debate teams, political science discussions, pre-law societies, law fellowships, etc., who can now move on to law school. A 24-year-old with all but a postgraduate degree in education who remains unable to take the last step towards fulfilling her dream of being a teacher. Or the 19-year-old college sophomore who, in her hopes of becoming a doctor, makes a deal with a professor to participate in that prestigious summer lab research program without getting paid, like all the other students are. Their hopes, their stories, our stories, can be multiplied by thousands. And when looking at their situation, nobody can deny that by giving the students a chance, by recognizing those who today stand up on campuses throughout California, we're not only recognizing their merit, but we're also acknowledging that they exemplify resiliency against a system that let many similar students fall through its cracks. For this reason today, we fight for alien minors. During this debate, many will argue or point out, regardless of our immigration status, we would be seen as aliens in many college campuses. That notion, however, is not what we're hoping to address today. We are the few remaining ones. Looking back and around us as we reach the finish line of our educational goals with the tragic realization that if nothing is done in the next few months, our knowledge and potential might or will go to waste. The future of these students can no longer be considered a secondary objective for this country's leaders. For if a Congress can stare at the eyes of a bipartisan bill for 6 years without gaining the courage to pass it, despite the fact that it looks towards the future and corrects the injustices of the present, that is not a Congress that is leading for its people and its future, but for itself. And while we wait, our struggle continues. We honor the gift we have in that we're able to express ourselves. And we do so publicly today, between classes, in front of a university we consider ours, part of our city and part of our state. But at the same time, we fear that we may not be able to enroll next quarter because school is expensive. And the price of being here has multiplied many times since AB 540 passed. We are undocumented students, and we don't just dream, we act. We push the envelope, create resources, open doors, think critically, give each other firm hugs, and often understand each other with a simple look. The future is today, and our tireless efforts have demonstrated that we as immigrants, but also as Americans, clearly portray the values that this country's documents tell us our country was fighting for. But before we lose hope in those values, we need to be recognized. We need to be accepted. We need to be welcome. For this and for many other reasons, today we fight for a dream. Thank you.